What's going on, guys? King Shrats here, back another video on the channel, and today we went to Applebees. Last week I had Red Robin for the first time in like 10 years, and I thought the burgers were pretty good. So in the video I asked if people wanted me to spin back to all of the casual sit-down restaurants that I've had a long-standing feud with over the last, I don't know, 10 or so years. I feel like the quality of the food in the past wasn't up to what they were charging for it, and I pretty much stopped going. But people said, hey, why don't you go back and spin back? So that is what we did. Went to Applebee's. Of course, I did get a burger and a couple of other entrees, which I will go through in the video. But drop a thumbs up. You want to see more of these franchise, casual chain restaurants that we go to, i.e. like Applebee's or Red Robin, your Chili's, your Outback Steakhouse, and so on. Drop a thumbs up. Drop a comment in the comment section so I can see where you want me to go to next. We're going to go to all of them. But of course, your input matters more than anything because that is why I am doing this. So without further ado, let's get into the video. I'm gonna start with the burger. Now, their most popular burger isn't really the traditional cheeseburger they have in their menu, but it is in fact this, which is the quesadilla burger, which comes with, and it looks pretty good. I already took it out of the box, as you can see. It has pico de gallo, pepper jack cheese. I think there's bacon on it as well as a burger, but it's in a tortilla instead of obviously a bun, and there is some Mexi Ranch sauce on this as well. It does come with fries. Not a good amount of fries, to be honest, in the amount that you do get. I believe this costs you about $16 for the burger and fries combo. You can switch whatever side you want to, but fries is what comes standard, so that is what I got. There is your burger. You have two options on the cook. You can either get pink or not pink. That's it. I don't really know what the hell that means. It says 158 for pink and 164 for not pink. I got not pink. So let's see what's going on the quesadilla burger. Do I like this? I like this. But let me break it down. I love the crispiness on the quesadilla or the tortilla itself. The burger is well seasoned, a little salty, but you expect that with most of these places. I don't really go into it not expecting that. So I have to take that into consideration when I'm getting it. The amount of cheese that you get, there's cheese on the top and the bottom of this, and there's a good amount of pico, so there's a bite of pico de gallo on every single bite that I've had so far. The Mexi Ranch, which is on the bottom, I don't know if y'all can get that in there. I'm going to take one more bite. Kind of gives you the idea of a Chipotle ranch. Surprisingly, the burger is really juicy. And I am a fan of that. Is this the best burger I've ever had? No. Is it trash? Absolutely not. I like this. I'm not going to lie. And if I was going to Applebee's, this would be probably the first thing that I would order. Now, I haven't tried anything else, but right off the bat, it is a nice opening to what I thought it was going to be incredibly mid. The burger's just surprisingly juicy. I didn't expect that at all. Even juicier than the Red Robin one. Now, I'm ranking these on a scale against all of the other chain restaurant burgers. Red Robins were in the 9 category for most of them. So please take that into consideration when I start giving out ratings. I'm not ranking these against every burger I've ever had, just with the chains. And with this, it is a very good burger. It's not elite, but I don't really know what's going to make the elite category when it comes to these. But it is something that I would eat again. I would give that an 8.5 out of 10. And let's try the fries. That is a bad fry. No, not a good fry. It's just all out bland. Now, of course, I don't really live far from the Applebee's, if I'm being real. They're not cold. They're not seasoned. They're just potato. So if you dip these in some ranch and stuff, it's not like the fry is bad as far as the texture goes. Just not something I would go on my way to get. Compared to some of the other fries I've got, say, at a Red Robin. So taking that into consideration, I would give those a 5 out of 10. But let's get into some more of these. Also, with anything that you get from Applebee's, I don't know if this is limited time or whatever, but you can get an order of 5 boneless buffalo wings for $1. So I got boneless buffalo wings for $1, and that's what's over here. I got garlic parmesan. This does not look like garlic parmesan. It does smell like garlic parmesan. I am getting a garlic smell on this, but that is what it looks like. It's just a boneless. I've only had the buffalo, so I wanted to try something different. You know, that's not half bad. You're going to hear me say this a lot in these videos, but it's only because I'm trying to describe what I'm eating accurately. Salty. You're going to hear me say that a lot, so just bear with me as I say it. I still have to tell you that it's salty. But it is an all-white boneless buffalo. I get a garlicky taste, but I don't get any Parmesan whatsoever. It did come with a ranch to dip in, so let's see what the ranch is hitting for. Going for ranch. Nobody can do ranch like Wingstop. It just is what it is. It's an okay ranch though. It's just when you've had Wingstop ranch, it just blows you away. But for $1, 5 of those, I'm not mad. I'm not mad. If you gave me those for $1, I'd eat them. Would I go on my way to eat them? Back in the half appetizer days, yeah. Now, not so much. 6 out of 10. They also have these little bowls that are apparently their thing. So this is a Tex-Mex shrimp bowl. And it's got a pretty decent amount of shrimp, if I could say so myself. It looks like it has a salad on the side, which we will not touch, but I'm still going to show it to you, because that's kind of how it comes. But it has grilled chipotle lime shrimp on some greens and some rice with house-made pico de gallo, black bean corn salsa, and guac. And it's topped with a chimichurri tortilla strips. There's like 3 of them on there, tortilla strip. And a fresh lime wedge. So the lime has to go on the top. That's duh. So let me just take this lime off real quick. I am not eating those greens, but we'll go over here on the side. This bowl was like $16, I believe. So we'll just go in over here. I am a guac eater now, so that's a good thing. Did they give me utensils? You know I like my little plastic utensils y'all all like to clown me for, but it's better than having to do this dishes, man. It is what it is. Alright, so let's go in. Let's just try a shrimp. It does look like it has a pretty decent amount of that chimichurri on there. I thought chimichurri was supposed to have a taste. All I'm getting is like peppery. Let's try the rice. This is cilantro lime rice, right? There's definitely cilantro in there. Not much else. Let's get a bite with the pico in here. No. Nope. Let's do some of the guac. Maybe the guac will save it. No. Let's try the black bean, corn, salsa, and a little bit of that pico. I'm gonna scoop over here because we don't eat lettuce. Alright, so let's get a little bit of everything in this one. That's super bland. I do get a little bit of cilantro, that's about it. Other than that, I mean, you get some corn. I just want to try this rice one more time. Like, am I tripping? A little bit of the lime did help. And there's some tortilla strips. They put them all on one side, that's why they're okay. Maybe that'll give it something. Because it doesn't even have salt. Nope. No. No. I'm not gonna much lie to you. That's really not that good at all. I don't really have anything nice to say about it. I mean, it tastes like. I mean, if you were like really hungry, maybe you'd eat it, but not for $16. You might as well go get yourself a bowl from one of those burrito places or something like that, because this is lower mid at best. 3 out of 10. Now this one looked interesting. Other than their boneless buffalo wings, their #1 appetizer were these chicken wonton tacos, which comes with, see if I can, they're kind of packaged together, so let me just grab this. Comes in a wonton. It has chicken and coleslaw, which fell out, so we'll put the coleslaw back. Coleslaw inside of a fried wonton, and you got some lime wedges here, and there is a soy dumpling sauce that's underneath my hand over here that I'm gonna put on here in a second after I squeeze some of that limon on there. And we're gonna try the first bite with none of that. That's okay. I don't mind this. I want to try a piece of this chicken by itself, just to see if the chicken, jeez. It says marinated chicken, which of course I bit with a whole piece of coleslaw. One more piece. It's all right. It does have a bit of that soy kind of taste, which is, I guess, what that dipping sauce is on. I'm gonna stuff some of this back in here. A little bit more of that lime on here. This was like 10 bucks, FYI. We're gonna go in with this dipping sauce. Not bad. Not bad. The burger was like so good that everything else compared to it is just like, eh. Let me just try this dipping sauce one more time. It has a bit of like a soy, orange, ginger kind of vibe to it. Again, I have to say it. It's soy sauce. It's supposed to be salty, but imagine saltier soy sauce, if you will. As far as the chicken goes, it definitely tastes like it came out of a package of some sort, and not like a little bit rubbery, if that makes sense. But when you add the wonton and you add the coleslaw to it, which adds a nice little bit of crunch, a little bit of freshness to it, and the lime, it kind of masks those things and makes it like decent. I'm sure people are gonna say that if they like it, that it's better at the restaurant, and I totally agree with you. But again, I'm talking like less than 2 miles. It's not like I'm driving these places. It's a really, really far distance. I have all these franchise restaurants really, really close to me. So it's not like I'm driving for these. It's not soggy. Maybe you'll like it better at the restaurant. The wonton is a nice touch. It's nice and crispy, and I do like that part. But it just like added, it's like eating a crunchy taco. It didn't really add that much of a texture thing to it. It's good, but it's nothing like to write home about, if I'm being real. I would give that a 5.5 out of 10. Take a little drink here. I always have this near me. Some people don't know this because I don't say it in like every video. But in between trying things, I will always take a sip of something. This is just sugar-free pink lemonade, Crystal Light, that I put in a gallon jug. But I feel like in these kind of videos, that when I'm reviewing something, this isn't really relevant. If I was doing a video where I was just doing a traditional, just eating and talking kind of thing, then having the drink. But for me, when I'm doing a restaurant of this type, and it's just like a strictly review, it doesn't really make sense to have me just taking sips throughout of a video, because I feel like I'm just adding filler into something where people just kind of want to see this. But I do take sips for people who were wondering. But let's try the final dish. I got a dessert. This was a new dessert, so I just, I didn't want to get a brownie or anything like that because it wouldn't travel well, melted ice cream. So I got these Cinnabon mini swirls, which they smell pretty good. According to their description, the swirls are a crisp golden brown, dusted with Cinnabon sugar, drizzled with caramel, or caramel if you say caramel, it's okay, and paired with Cinnabon's signature cream cheese frosting. If that Cinnabon cream cheese is what I think Cinnabon cream, I love Cinnabon. So these do look pretty good. Let's see. I'm gonna try the first one without the cream cheese because that's probably gonna be a carry, but that's definitely Cinnabon cinnamon and sugar. That very distinct taste. I'm not mad at this. Would have liked a little bit more caramel. Just going for the cream cheese. That's definitely it. Ooh. Man, that'll do something to you. That is going to do something to you. This cream cheese is like, it's taking me right back to like I used to go into the mall as a teenager and go and get a Cinnabon after being at like some kind of video game store or something like that, because I ain't had no money, but I had enough to get a Cinnabon. So I would get a Cinnabon or an Auntie Annie's pretzel, but that's not really relevant to what I'm saying at hand. As far as this goes, again, I would have liked a little bit more caramel. There's a good amount of cinnamon sugar on here. I'll eat this whole damn thing. The only comparable thing that I have is the ones that you get from Pizza Hut, which are the Cinnabon Delights, which come in a container like this, and the cinnamon cream cheese on the top. These are better. I like the texture on these better. They feel a little bit more homemade, and they're less chewy than the ones you get from Domino's. Now, I like the one from Domino's, but the one from Domino's, I believe, costs like $6.99 or something like that, and these are about $10. These taste like $10 ones as compared to $6.99 ones, so I'm not really mad at either of them. This, as far as a dessert, now these places always got fire desserts. This is the last one I'm gonna eat because I'll eat this whole damn thing. All these places have fire desserts. The one thing, I remember going to Applebees, Chili's, all those places, is I always was ready for the dessert. Give me a little brownie bottom pie, which is like a brownie with the ice cream on top, or something. And this is no exception. I will go there just for damn that. I'll be honest with you. That's probably the best thing I've had there. That is a 9 out of 10. I ain't got like that. That's pretty good for what you're paying for. Not really mad at it. And I'll be honest with you. I wasn't a big fan of these sit-down places. I've been saying that since this channel started. I haven't gone to a lot of them over the years. I'm still going to prefer the mom and pop for the more personal touch and everything. But sometimes you do want to go to places like this. And I completely understand because we all know what to expect when we go to places that are like this. So you have a little bit of like an affinity toward, especially if you're traveling or you maybe not have access to some of the stuff that I have. This is very reassuring for me personally because now I feel like I even could find an order at this, because if I'm gonna be honest, if I pick something out, I would break it down like this. I would get an order at his the dollar boneless buffalo wings, or in this case, garlic parm. I would probably get a different sauce, which is fine. But for $1, I'm perfectly okay with that. They always got the little 2 for $20, or that they do at places like this. I don't know if it's 2 for $25 or $30 now, but it used to be $20 because I'm old. So I would do something like that. I get myself a quesadilla burger because that burger is really good for what you're gonna get at a sit-down place like this. I don't really have a problem with it. And then I would get that as a dessert. And you have got yourself a W. Were these worth it? No. I wouldn't get a lot of stuff on that menu. And usually it's gonna be stuff like that. But when you go in places like this, some of them have little like sneaky things that are good. And I completely get it now that I'm going back with an open mind. I never want to go to a place and just write it off before I give it a chance. So that is what we did today. Applebee's. You survived. You're in the cut. I'm with it. I'll get a quesadilla burger any of these days. Yeah. I used to go to Applebee's all the time, but all I got was boneless buffalo wings and half app times. If you know half appetizers, that's all we used to do. Me and the boys would go for like Sunday night football because there's an Applebee's near me, and we would go and sit down and I'd get like boneless buffalo wings. And you end up spending like $10, $15 when it's all said and done. Unless you were buying beer and stuff like that, but I don't really drink beer and stuff, so kind of brings me back to that. The quesadilla burger is a lot better than what I thought it would be. And that's kind of why I went to try the burgers, but I wanted to try the other stuff too. But Applebees. I was about to say Appies, but I can't say app. Anyway, it's a dub. It's a dub. Kinda. Certain stuff. And I feel like we could spin back and try a little bit more of some of these stuff, and it opens up a whole new possibility of just content in general. And I had fun doing this, so I hope that you did, and we're going to try some more of these places. Let me know what you want to see next, like I said, but that's going to be the end of the video. There's a lot of things going on in the background that you don't know that I've kind of had to pull double duty for. I've had some opportunities that I'm doing like behind the scenes that I can't tell you about right now because I'm not allowed to. But if you're on my other platforms, you'll see a lot of that stuff, so I've kind of had to juggle a little bit, but the content here will never stop. I'm always going to put out content. If you don't see me post a video in a day, something, I'm not going to say bad, but there's a reason. That was a really big reason, because we've done at this point, I want to say about like 9 or 10 months straight of videos every single day on the channel, and I want to keep that streak going for as long as possible, so I'm going to continue to do this stuff. If you feel like I don't eat enough, which I said in the video before this, if you got this far, you probably know it already, but I do drop food off to people all the time. Most of them are relatives, so it's okay if I touch the food or, things of that nature. I do have friends that are cool with it, they just want to try it. Like I'm not sneezing all over my food and stuff like that, but I do want you to know that some people are coming into the channel and they don't know, and they're like, you're wasting food. Never. I've given food away to people that are less fortunate at times. I'm not going to go, I don't want, like I'm not virtue signaling and trying to give you credit for stuff like that. That's why I don't really show stuff like that. I know Yeah, but I do. For people who do wonder, this food does not get wasted. I will tell you that. Family, friends, and people that are less fortunate. So, with that being said, that's going to be the end of the video. I love you guys again. Thank you for your support. We wouldn't be able to do all this stuff without your support. So keep on supporting the channel, and I will keep on putting out content, man. I promise you that. I love y'all, but we will be back tomorrow. More content. I love y'all. The hand signs, they made it to YouTube.